You there? This is a shoe, but I want to show you something about this shoe. Notice when I pull it, it stays sideways. You see that? You see that? It's amazing, isn't it? Man, it's terrible. Now look at this one. Did you see that thing fall that way? Now it's up and down perpendicular. This shoe will come undone. It's tied very similar to the other one, but not exactly. Now, if I'd have listened to a rhyme as a kid that tells you how to tie your shoe, I would have saved days of time and scraped knees, embarrassment by my shoes being untied. But I went 60-something years thinking I knew how to tie my shoe until I watched a TED Talk. Now, of course, just like this one, the message was not about tying shoes, but it's about having a set mind. He showed me how to tie a shoe correctly. Now, where did he get it? From a shoe salesman. He said the same thing. The salesman asked, "Do you know how to tie your shoe?" Well, show me. And he went under when he should have went over with the rabbit. I did the same thing all my life and wondered why I couldn't keep my shoes tied until I saw the TED Talk. Guess what? I've never had my shoe come untied again. And yes, they do stink. Excuse me. But we'll address that later. What's the point? Same thing can be said about the way we do anything, including real estate. Now, I don't like people that brag. I don't. And I try not to myself because really in the grand scheme of things, selling real estate is not like curing cancer or COVID-19 or anything else, but it is a good service. And I've done a lot of it. As a matter of fact, if you combine the mortgage experience, I own 5 mortgage companies and I've sold personally over 1,000 houses. I doubt there's very many people that has as many real estate transactions as I have anywhere. If you have, you can send me an email and I'll redo this video. So you're supposed to give proof that you know what you're talking about. So hopefully that's a little proof, and we're going to, hopefully you'll inquire about more. But I want to tell you a story. Now that's another thing they tell us to do in teaching and training, which I've trained quite a few people in real estate and mortgages. Forgive me for bragging again. You can hate me. You may hate me more after this video, but that's okay. It's okay. And then you can save it for somebody else. But I've heard a lot of good speeches in my life. I've heard Bear Bryant give one of the most motivating speeches before a game that you've ever heard in your life. Those guys were ready to run through a wall. I heard Nick Saban do the same thing. Now you might get a theme here. I am from Alabama. And the fact is, it is the greatest college football program in the history of football. No brag, just fact. Nobody's got more championships. They're fortunate to have a couple of good coaches. And even the one up in South Carolina played at Alabama and was coached by these same people. So anyway, that's another story altogether. So I'm supposed to tell you a story. And I want to tell you a story about a man that's better than any of those. And I was involved in a program with him, and his name is Glen Turner. Now, you may not have heard of Glen Turner. You may have if you're old like me. But they had a book about him called Con Man or Saint, depending on how you looked at him. But one thing was undeniable. He was a fantastic motivator. I'm going to tell you a story that he told, and I'm going to tell it like him. And I apologize because he had a speech impediment. Now, old people like me may call it a hair lip. So for the politically correct police, I'm sorry. But to give you the way this actually went, I'm going to try to imitate him as best I can. So the story went like this. He gave a little background. He said, I'm Glen Turner, and I have a 7th grade education. And I grew up poor, nothing. And every Christmas, I'd write Santa a letter. Santa, this is Glen. This year, I would like a rock'em sock'em robot set. I'd rush down Christmas morning to that tree, and there was some socks. Oh, Santa, he let me down. I'll try again next year. So next year I write my letter. Dear Santa, I would like one of these light old train sets where the smoke comes out the engine. Please give me one of those. That's what I really want. Christmas morning, same thing. Rush down. It's got to be there. A train set. Socks. I'm getting upset with Santa, especially since my best friend Johnny lived down the street. But they had money. Johnny, guess what he got for Christmas? A rock'em sock'em robot set. And then next year, guess what? He got a Lilo train set. So I said, okay. I went down to Johnny's house before Christmas and said, Johnny, what are you writing Santa for Christmas this year? He said, I want a Swin bicycle. One that I can put cards on and make noise. It has those little flappers on the side. And I'm going to look good. I think your mama's calling you. No, yeah. So as he runs out, I copy his letter, word for word. Dear Santa, except I said, this is Glen instead of Johnny. Exactly the same. So I mailed it. Oh, I know this is going to be a good Christmas. And so got up really early this Christmas. Ran downstairs. Socks. Oh, I've never been so distressed in my life. I knew I'd done it just right. And I knew I'd tried to be good the whole year, even better than Johnny, trying to do it. What is wrong? This is unfair. I had chores to do that day. We had to work, unlike a lot of people today. So I had to milk the cow. We had a cow named Bessie. So I'm going out to the cow, getting on my stove, doing what you do when you milk cows. Sad. Couldn't do my job. Bessie turns to me, looks at me with those big brown cow eyes and says, Glen, what's wrong with you? I said, you can't talk. Bessie said, yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Okay. So, Glen, tell me what's wrong. So I tell her about Johnny and the bike, and how it was so unfair, trying to be good. All I got was socks. She said, Glen, I'm going to help you today. I said, Bessie, how you going to do that? You're just a cow. Glen, I told you I was going to help you. Oh. Glen, what I want you to do is just hold on. Hold on. And old Bessie will jump up and down. Now, I said, okay, Santa, if that's the way you want to play, I'm going to be my own Santa Claus from now on. And you can be your own Santa Claus. It doesn't depend on your education. I got a 7th grade education. It doesn't depend on your race. It doesn't depend on who your family is. It depends on you. And if you will just hold on to that man or woman that brought you here tonight, they will help you. They will help you. And you can be what you want to be. You can reach the stars if you're willing to stand on your toes just a little bit. Ooh, the people would sign up. They would sign up. I signed up. And I hope he does. If he's still alive, this is complimentary. Greatest motivational speaker I've seen. Maybe you've seen others, but and it was true. He had an impediment, but it was actually an asset to him. He used that. You had to listen to what he was saying. And he was very, very convincing. He got $5,000 right out of my pocket. And I didn't have a lot. I didn't have a lot of money. Lost it later. Something happened. Somebody stole the money. So maybe the con man part was good. But the point is, stories are good. But you know, substance is better. Now, I've got a lot of experience. I've got a lot of tools that I've developed, but we're going to mix in some stories that are good, that will also motivate you to do this, because a lot of it is just getting up each day and making the calls. And I've kind of gotten out of the business. I've done a lot, but I'm doing some cold calls in our course to show you how to do it. And they're not going to be scripted. There'll be some hangups. There'll be some don't call me anymore. But you got to hold on. You got to hold on. So take this course. It's a lot cheaper than the $5,000, but that was money well spent for me, the lessons that I learned. So I hope this would be money well spent for you too. So thank you for listening. LandonKrigler.com. Got it? LandonKrigler.com. And if you're with the political correctness police, it's Landin. Landin. That's French instead of a German. So anyway, thank you for watching our video. Join our course. We'll have a good time, but I promise you, you will learn quite a bit. And if not, I promise you, if I have it, I will give you your money back. Unlike Mr. Turner. Thank you for watching.